Stop buying modern cars just because they have massive touchscreens and pretty ambient lighting. If you don't check what's under the hood, you are literally handing your life savings over to a mechanic on a silver platter. Seriously, some of these vehicles are engineered by absolute sadists to explode the exact second your warranty expires. Today, we are exposing 10 modern cars you should avoid like the plague, starting with a luxury favorite that is a total nightmare. Number 10. Early production, Tesla Model Y and Model 3. Elon Musk wants you to believe these are the future, but the build quality is an absolute comedy show. We are talking about panel gaps so massive you could park a whole second car inside them. The paint literally peels off if you wash it too hard, and the door handles love to freeze shut in the winter, leaving you locked out in a blizzard. And if you get a tiny dent on the bumper, fixing it will take 3 months of your life and cost more than a brand new Rolex. Number 9. The Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet. Someone high up at Nissan looked at a heavy, bloated family SUV and thought, you know what the world needs? We need to chop the roof off this thing and make it a convertible. Brilliant. It is widely considered one of the ugliest things ever created by mankind, but the looks aren't even the worst part. Because they remove the roof, the car loses all structural strength and shakes like jelly on the highway. The roof mechanism breaks if a bird sneezes near it, and replacing it costs way more than the actual car is worth today. Number 8. Jaguar X-Type. Back in the day, Jaguar desperately wanted to compete with BMW, but they didn't want to spend any actual money on development. So, they took a cheap, boring Ford Mondeo, slapped a classy Jaguar badge on the front, and charged double the price. The result? You got all the cheap, plastic build quality of an early 2000s Ford, beautifully combined with the legendary, horrific unreliability of a Jaguar. The all-wheel drive system loves to explode, the automatic transmissions just give up on life, and the body rusts faster than a cheap garden fence in the rain. Number 7. The Chrysler PT Cruiser. This thing tried so hard to look like a cool, retro hot rod from the 1930s. Instead, it ended up looking like a motorized toaster used by a cartoon villain. While the terrible design divided the world, mechanics were united in pure hatred for this thing. The engine bay is so cramped that changing a simple light bulb basically requires you to remove half the front suspension and question your life choices. It suffers from random head gasket explosions, terrible crash test ratings, and plastic interior parts that literally snap if you close the door too fast. Number 6. The Hummer H2, the ultimate symbol of mid-2000s bad taste and overcompensation. This heavy, military wannabe monster burns through 30 liters of fuel just by starting the engine. It is so wide it doesn't even fit into a standard parking spot, yet the interior somehow has less legroom than a tiny Honda Civic. Mechanically, it uses heavy-duty pickup truck parts that wear out every 6 months because they are crushed under the massive, unnecessary weight of the car. Driving one of these today is just a loud, public way of telling everyone that you absolutely hate your own bank account. Number 5. Ford EcoBoost engines, specifically the 1-liter version. Ford proudly called it the engine of the year. Mechanics call it a jackpot. Why? Because Ford engineers had the genius idea to submerge the engine's timing belt directly inside the engine oil. They called it a wet belt. In theory, it saves fuel. In reality, the rubber naturally dissolves over time. Pieces of it clog the oil pump, and the engine literally suffocates to death. One day you're driving smoothly, the next day your engine is a $7,000 paperweight. Number 4. The Aston Martin Signet. This is, without a doubt, one of the biggest, most hilarious scams in automotive history. Aston Martin needed to lower their fleet emissions or they'd face massive government fines. So, instead of engineering a smart hybrid, they took a tiny, cheap Toyota IQ city car, glued some luxury leather inside, put an Aston Martin grille on the front, and sold it for $45,000. It had a pathetic 90 horsepower engine. It was slow, cramped, and literally just a Toyota in a very expensive tuxedo. Anyone who actually bought this new should not be legally allowed to manage money. Number 3. Any modern Land Rover or Range Rover. These SUVs look absolutely stunning parked in a luxury driveway, which is great because that's exactly where they will stay while waiting for a tow truck. The electronics in these cars were clearly wired by someone who hates the concept of electricity. The air suspension loves to fail, dropping the car to the ground randomly like a broken lowrider. The main screens go completely black while you're doing 80 on the highway, and the engines leak oil from places you didn't even know existed. Buying a used one is the fastest way to become best friends with a tow truck driver. Number 2. The DeLorean DMC-12. Super famous because of the movies, an absolute dumpster fire in real life. The stainless steel body looked cool and futuristic, but it was impossible to keep clean. Even touching the door left permanent, greasy fingerprint stains. To make things worse, this heavy sports car was powered by a pathetic, weak V6 engine developed by Peugeot, meaning it was actually slower than a modern family minivan. The gull-wing doors regularly trapped people inside, and the company went completely bankrupt before they could even fix the build quality. Great movie prop, horrific car. Number 1. The Pontiac Aztek, the undisputed heavyweight king of terrible cars. It looks like it was designed by a committee of people who had never actually seen a car before. They wanted a futuristic outdoor vehicle, but they built a plastic, geometric monstrosity that looked like a dumpster on wheels. It was so universally hated that it single-handedly destroyed the entire century-old Pontiac brand. The interior felt like a cheap plastic recycling bin, and it even came with a built-in tent, probably so you could hide inside and avoid the shame of being seen near it. A legendary disaster. So, do you actually own one of these financial nightmares, or did your car survive my roasting? Let me know in the comments below. Let's start a fight about it. And hey, if you want to protect your wallet from more automotive scams, join the garage and hit that subscribe button right now. Welcome to Car Theory, and I'll see you in the next video.